Velocicoaster and Steel Vengeance are regarded as some of the best coasters ever. From the countless airtime moments on each ride to the insane inversions, they are truly some of the best roller coasters in the world. Today we're going to be talking about different categories and seeing which ride wins each category. Let's see which is truly the better roller coaster. For our first category, we're going to be talking about the length, height, and speed, since there is one winner for all of these. And the winner for all of those categories is Steel Vengeance, earning it 3 points for 1 point for each category. Steel Vengeance's length is 5,740 feet, while Velocicoaster's is 4,700 feet. The height of Steel Vengeance is 205, while Velocicoaster's is only 155. The speed of Steel Vengeance is 74 miles per hour, while Velocicoaster's is 70. Alright, so Steel Vengeance is currently up 3-0 on Velocicoaster. Let's see what happens in the next category. On category 2, we have the Trains and Restraints. This is a very easy one. It's Velocicoaster. Steel Vengeance's Restraints and Trains. Don't even get me started on them. Some of the worst trains and restraints ever. But these Steel Vengeance trains have shin guards. The lap bar is like 70 pounds. It's super heavy. And they have a seat belt, or Steel Vengeance has a seat belt. And Velocicoaster's trains are very comfortable. Velocicoaster wins this. Probably some of the best restraints ever. So comfortable, you don't even feel like you have a restraint on you. Super freeing, like you feel like super exposed. And Steel Vengeance you feel like you're in a box. So it's a pretty easy pick here. Definitely Velocicoaster. So Velocicoaster is now 3-1. Steel Vengeance is still leading, but we'll see if Velocicoaster catches up in the following categories. Our next category is Operations. This is a little harder than Trains and Restraints, but I am going to have to go with Velocicoaster. So, Velocicoaster runs 4 trains, Steel Vengeance runs 3. The crew on Velocicoaster is incredible. They are always pumping out trains. But when I was there, it was only running 2 trains, and I think they were trying their best with the amount of trains they had, because 2 trains on Velocicoaster just doesn't work. It's meant for 4 trains, and 2 trains just doesn't really work on it. 3 trains would work, but 2 trains does not. Steel Vengeance, if it gets to 3 trains and they're pumping out trains, that line moves very fast, especially for an RMC. It has really good capacity for an RMC, but it's pretty hard to beat Universal Operations. Velocicoaster is definitely the better operated ride, even though when I was there, it wasn't running to its full potential. So that means Velocicoaster now has 2 points, and Steel Vengeance is still in the lead with 3. Let's see, will that change, or will Steel Vengeance come out on top at the end? We will see. Our next category is Theming. Okay, this is a no-brainer. This is Velocicoaster. The theming on Velocicoaster is immaculate. It is amazing. Like, jeez. The theming is really good. Like, it's not even funny how good the theming is on Velocicoaster. Yes, it's not as good as Hagrid's, but once you compare the theming on Velocicoaster to Steel Vengeance, it's not pretty. If you've been to Steel Vengeance, been on Steel Vengeance, really the only quote unquote theming is the sign, which I like the sign on Steel Vengeance better than Velocicoaster's, but it's very close. But yeah, so easy no-brainer. Velocicoaster wins that. Velocicoaster is now tied with Steel Vengeance, 3-3. Velocicoaster is definitely having a comeback right now. We'll see. Will Velocicoaster come on top, or will Steel Vengeance win it all? Let's see. Next category is the first drop, and this is worth 2 points. So, whoever wins this will be at 5 points. So, I'm counting first drop, Steel Vengeance's no-brainer first drop, and Velocicoaster's drop off the top hat. So, this might be a controversial pick, but I am actually going to go with Velocicoaster's. The drop in the back row on Velocicoaster is insane. So, I read this in the morning only, and it was still crazy. Like, the last car of Velocicoaster seems like lethal. Like, it's like one car too long, I feel like, but it's amazing. So Steel Vengeance's drop is 90 degrees and Velocicoaster's is only 80, but when I was riding it, I swear to God, it felt like a beyond vertical drop. Like, the airtime in the back row is just that insane. The drop is definitely a lot better on Velocicoaster. Even though the top is trimmed, it's still a lot better. So yeah, Velocicoaster gets the points, and that means it is at 5-3. So Velocicoaster is currently on top, which there's a comeback. So let's see, will Velocicoaster win? We'll have to find out. Next category is Airtime. This is also worth 2 points. So, Airtime. We all love it. I'm pretty sure we all love it. Steel Vengeance has the most airtime on any roller coaster, and Velocicoaster doesn't. So it's it's a really hard choice. I'm gonna have to choose Steel Vengeance because the airtime on Steel Vengeance is lethal. With the very uncomfortable lap bars, the airtime is basically kills your shins. Like, it hurts a lot, but it's like really good. I still love it. But Velocicoaster does have upside down airtime, which Steel Vengeance does not have. But Steel Vengeance does have sideways airtime. But Steel Vengeance will get the point. So we are currently tied at 5-5. We'll see who comes out on top in the next category. Our next category is the Inversions. So both coasters have 4 inversions, so we can't do it by count. We have to see which inversions are better. So, starting with Steel Vengeance, we have a 0G roll variant, which is the first inversion that's probably the best inversion of the ride. It's really, really fun. It's really flowy. Second inversion is I don't think it's a 0G stall. It kind of feels like, I don't know, like a cutback a little bit, but it's called a 0G stall. It really doesn't feel like it. You get a little hang time, but it's very whippy. It's really good. That's the second inversion. Then you have 2 0G rolls as your 2 last inversions. Those are very good, but they're not like anything super special. So, they're okay. But once we get over to Velocicoaster, we have an Immelman. Really good, especially in the back row. You get airtime, you get ejected airtime getting pulled out of the Immelman, which I've never experienced. And then you got a dive loop, also really good in the back. Not as much airtime. There's not really any. Then you have a 0G stall, really good actually. Has hang time, pretty decent. Some people say it doesn't. I got hang time. And then we have the best inversion on any roller coaster, the Mosasaurus roll. The Mosasaurus roll is the only reason Velocicoaster is winning this. If they did not have the Mosasaurus roll, Steel Vengeance would win this category. Velocicoaster's Mosasaurus roll is better than any inversion on Steel Vengeance. If Velocicoaster had only the Mosasaurus roll, it would still win this category because it's that good. Upside down airtime is insane. That's all I have to say. So yeah, that means, because that was worth 1 point, so if you're keeping count, Velocicoaster is at 6 and Steel Vengeance is at 5. So on to our next category. Our next category is the best moment on the coaster. So, in my opinion, Steel Vengeance's best moment is either the first inversion, which I love, it's very floaty, or probably the top hat. The top hat is insane. You get laterals and airtime, like really high up. It's crazy. It's really good. And Velocicoaster's best element is obviously the Mosasaurus roll. And if you guys were paying attention, before I said the Mosasaurus roll is better than any inversion on Steel Vengeance. So, Velocicoaster is obviously going to win this because it has the Mosasaurus roll. And the Mosasaurus roll is demented. So, Velocicoaster wins this, getting 2 points and is at 8, and Steel Vengeance is at 6. Steel Vengeance is falling behind. Let's see, can it redeem itself? Our second to last category is launch. I know this is a little unfair because Steel Vengeance does not have a launch, but I just really needed to point out how good Velocicoaster's second launch is. There's no reason for it to be that powerful, but it is, and it fits perfectly in the ride. So, I know it's a little unfair, but just Velocicoaster's launch, so good, I had to point it out. I would feel bad if I didn't point it out because it's that good. So, Velocicoaster gets the point and is now at 9. So, we'll see. I'm pretty sure Steel Vengeance is at 4. No, it's at 5. Steel Vengeance is at 5. We'll see if it can catch up. I don't know. Our final category is worth 3 points. This category is pacing. If you don't know what pacing is, it's like the ride not slowing down at all, and it's just keep going. And let's see which ride does that the best. So, Velocicoaster does not have a mid-course, does not slow down at all. Like the marketing, keep going. You feel like you hit that brake run with 70 miles per hour. It is amazing pacing. Like, you don't feel like you're slowing down at all, except on the top hat, of course. But Steel Vengeance does have a mid-course, so that is going to set it back a little bit. But Steel Vengeance's pacing is really good. It's a 2-minute and 30-second ride, including the lift hill. So it's a long ride to keep that amount of speed, even with a mid-course. So I would personally say Steel Vengeance, just because it can keep the speed throughout its 5,740 feet of track and not feel like you're slowing down at all. Like, you hit the brake run on Steel Vengeance, and you're like, wow, that pacing was amazing. I feel like I'm hitting the brake one at like 70 miles per hour. And it's the same with Velocicoaster, but it's crazy how much Steel Vengeance can keep its speed. It feels like they greased they oiled the track or the wheels a little too much, but it's really good. So that was final category, and we are going into the finale. Let's see who wins. It's the finale. Let's see which coaster is truly number one. So these two coasters have fought fiercely against each other through these 10 categories: speed, height, length, altogether, pacing, operations, inversions, best moment, first drop, launch, theming, airtime, and trains and restraints. And we've had some really close matches, and really, like, this coaster is a lot better at that, and this coaster is a lot worse at that. So, to reveal who won, which coaster won, Steel Vengeance or Velocicoaster, let's get a drum roll. The winner of my personal favorite roller coaster is Velocicoaster, winning 9-8. This was a very close matchup. They're very, like, similar rides. Well, not similar, but they're really similar in, like, how good they are. And I personally do like Velocicoaster better. It's just really good, really well paced, really good airtime, and the Mosasaurus roll just does it for me. I love the Mosasaurus roll. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you disagree with me, if you say Velocicoaster is worse, Steel Vengeance better, maybe you've ridden Road to Happiness. Oh my god, I said Road to Happiness. Ride to Happiness, and maybe that's better. Comment your favorite roller coaster down below. I'd love to hear it. So, thank you for watching. If you want to, you can subscribe. I'm not forcing you. I'm not holding you at gunpoint. You can subscribe if you want. All right, thank you. Bye.